Bringing people and communities together on seclosounds.org.
Your listening station.
Hi and welcome to another Sticks Radio Show here on Seclo Sounds. Me, Terry Sullivan. Today on the show, I've got a guest. He lives here in Milton-Keynes, which I only found out a few minutes ago when I spoke to him. He's the frontman of a band called the-tremeloes, who were huge in the 60s. His name is Brian Poole. We're going to talk to him about his career and about his two famous daughters in a little while. But first, let's play a song from the fabulous Tremeloes. And this is a song called Here Comes My Baby. There we are, that's Here Comes My Baby from the Tremeloes. And I have with me the lead singer of the Tremeloes, none other than Brian Poole. Good morning, Brian.
Hi, Terry.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Good.
Just looking forward now to the tour.
You are. It's a great tour. I mean, it's not just you. It's you and the original Tremeloes.
Yeah.
And you've got the Trogs, Badfinger, Ivy League, the Pacemakers. It's just, well, it's a great tour. We'll talk about where people can see you in a little while. Let's talk about you first.
Lovely. Oh,
yeah, we'll talk about you.
About me.
I mean, you were brought up in the East End of London.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I was born in Stepney, East London. Mm-hmm. And that was 1941. That's a long time ago. But I lived in East London more or less all my life until I moved about 20 years ago out to Milton-Keynes, just outside of Milton-Keynes.
In the posh bit?
So they say, yeah.
They say. There's a lovely theatre there called the Stables.
It is, and it owned by, and actually the very auditorium that you go in, I was there on the opening night because it's called the Jim Marshall.
That's right, it is indeed.
And Jim was my best friend.
Really? Was it? I always wondered who that was named after.
Yeah, it was named after Jim Marshall, who was head of course of Marshall
Ants, of course. And of course, yeah, they're still going. They're still very much in Milton Keynes as well.
Yeah, that's right. They're just out Bletchley way.
That's right, indeed.
They've been there for a long time now.
Yeah. So what actually brought you up to Milton Keynes, apart from the lovely, the concrete cows, the great football club, the great radio stations that are there, of course?
Yeah. I'll tell you what brought me here. We had just sold my wife's mum. We bought her house years before, like 20 years before. And we just needed to, we were sort of looking to move from Barking, and because it was getting not quite so nice. It was nice when we moved there, but it was getting not quite so good, so we wanted to move out. Just came to Milton Keynes on the off chance. We were actually looking around where my friends live in Kempston and around Bedfordshire. Came into Milton Keynes and looked at a couple of houses and just thought, wow, these are nice. And I'd always had an old house and I wanted to get a slightly newer one. So I got one now that's built about 1974 or something, and it's a real nice house. So it's a little bit bigger, and the funny thing is my daughters lived here with me 20 years ago, and right up until they got married, and now it's too big for us, so we're looking maybe to move again sometime.
I know. My parents live in Milton Keynes, and they've done exactly what you've done. All of us lot have disappeared and everything else, and they had a big old house, and they decided to move, and they've downsized. I think it happens to a lot of people, I think. And
you have to. We've got rooms here. We honestly have got rooms here that we don't use, even when the girls come up, with, children and everything around. We've still got a room or two that we don't even use. We've got a sort of extension room we used to use as a studio, and it's empty now, so we just chuck everything in there.
Oh, I've got one of those rooms as well, so I think everybody who's got... I mean, I live in a largish house, and there's only the two of us, and I think we all do that, don't we? Open the door, just, that'll do in there, go on, chuck it in there, and then you open the door another day, and oh my God. You always think it'll be all right at first, and then you think suddenly, wow, this is getting a bit too big now. Right? Well, not too big. It's not a massive house by all means, but it's just got a couple of extra rooms that we don't need anymore. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you like Milton Keynes. It gets a lot of bad press, the concrete cows and all that other business, and it's sort of almost a laughing stock. But I like Milton Keynes, and let's not slag it off.
No, I like Milton Keynes. I always go in. It takes me about no more than about 10 minutes to get into Milton Keynes, right into the centre. No traffic.
No, it's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, straight into the centre. Do walk around, do shopping there. Younger people is great for. Got everything there.
Yeah, it is. It's a great thing. Anyway, that's a great plug for the Milton Keynes Tourist Board. We've done well there today.
yeah, that's right.
Anyway, let's go back to the early days in Barking. How did you sort of get into music? Because it's...
Yeah, we all went to school, Barking. The original Tremeloes, we all went to the same school. All met up, play, same class. So we were all sort of the same age. Alan Blakely, Alan Howard and me. We were the sort of three originals. And the school said to us, like they do, we were doing O-levels at the time, GCE, which they called it then. We were doing GCE, and they said, well, look, as long as you're doing okay in your what are you going to actually do? So we said, we want to be a band. We're going to be a band no matter what. And they said, yeah, but what are you going to do for a job? And we said, we're going to be a band. And that's it. And they said, okay, look, you can have, if you really want to do this, come and practice in the school. We do evening classes in the evening, and you can come and take a classroom and just rehearse in the classroom. Keep you out, keeping us out of trouble, I suppose. And so we did that twice a week when they did their evening classes, and then rehearsed at our houses. Decided to call it the Tremeloes after one of the old amps we were using, and that was it. But the school did say to us, you love this, they said, yes, you can have this classroom free of charge for as long as you want it. And the one thing is, if you ever have a number one record, you have to come back to the school and do a concert in the school hall. And would you believe it? We did.
Wow.
We actually did it. We had number one with Do You Love Me? And the first person on the phone was our old school and said, look, it's a tradition here now. You're coming back to do a concert. And we said, well, yeah, could us put it together. And we did.
And you probably had them queuing round the block to get tickets for that night.
Yeah. Oh, there were people standing outside and everything, all listening from the outside, because we were a bit of a loud band, I've got to admit.
Well, I've seen you perform not that long ago, and it certainly made my ears bleed a little bit. So we'll talk about that project in a little while. I mean, when you were inspired by Buddy Holly and the Crickets, I Get My Teeth organised as well.
Yeah, we were. We were. See, being at school, we were studying, all three of us. And we had one of the guys as well came in, the guitarist as well. So we had four of us there, and three of us wore glasses because we were reading, every day, and you just needed sort of reading glasses. So I was wearing glasses at the time when we signed to Decca, which was a bit later. We'd done a few gigs, and we'd done a Saturday club broadcast on BBC radio, and they kind of picked up on us from there. And my optician actually was Mike Smith's optician, who was Mike Smith from Decca, the A&R man. So he said, well, come and see me, and we'll see what we can do. He liked us. And we went up to sign for Decca. And on the day that we signed, Mike Smith said to us, look, we love your music, boys. We're really into you. We'll give you this and we'll give you that. But, Brian, the bins have got to go. So the bins went for, a good 20 years.
Yeah, because I don't ever remember seeing you wearing glasses on stage.
No, I never wore glasses
until
it didn't matter anymore, and I put them back on. And you always wear glasses now.
Yeah, it's a very strange thing, but I don't know if this is true, but when you signed to Decca, they insisted on you being called Brian Poole and the Tremeloes.
Yeah, yes, you got that dead right, Terry. But the thing is, when they first signed us, they signed us and we were called the Tremeloes, which was spelt differently to how they spell it now. And they spelt it the way it's spelt now, in their wisdom. And our first record, the first pressings of, what was it called, Twist Little Sister, our very first single, the first pressings are actually called The Tremeloes.
Really?
And then they said, no, it's the style now that you call somebody's got to be out front and do all the talking and do be the mouthpiece of the band. And of course the rest of them said, well, you better do this. And so it was left to me, and so Decca called it Brian Poole and the Tremeloes, which was quite weird, really.